Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, crazy babies. Welcome to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, yours truly, Joe Mycutt. Today, this evening, I had a really lovely interview with Maggie Miller. She is the author of Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic. And what a wonderful guest she was to have, a great energy and a great vibe for an evening interview. So without further ado, I'm going to jump off here and let you guys get to know Maggie Miller and her book, Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic, available on Amazon.com as well as Barnes & Noble. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, crazy babies. Welcome back to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, yours truly, Joe Mycutt. And today I'm super excited to have with us Miss Maggie Miller, and she is the author of Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you this evening?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the opportunity to get to know you and a little bit about your book today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to jump into the questions here. Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic. Tell us about that. Describe the book to our viewers. What is that all about?
It is a lifetime of poetry. I've been writing since I was young. It was an absolute dream of mine to actually publish, which I never really thought would happen. So super excited for my first book. It covers the range of emotions from love and laughter and joy and humor to some of the darker, deeper, sadder stuff, loss of my parents, various things throughout life.
Absolutely. So this is this would be fair to say that it's pretty much a lifetime collection of almost a journal even of your life written through poetry.
It is. It is. Absolutely.
I love that. And it's beautiful. I love the title, Heartfelt Snippets and with Moments of Magic. I mean, if there's not a better description of life itself right there, captured in the title of a book.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going for, lighthearted, romantic with the cover and with the title. It actually started out as two books that I had the first one ready to go, and it was called Heartfelt Snippets. And the second one, when I had the first one ready to go, the second one was almost ready to go. So I just put them together.
We call that a mashup, and I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it works out perfect because it feels like they go together. So now within this, it's probably going to be most difficult to answer this question, given that it spans a lifetime since you were 8 years old. But what would be your favorite piece in the collection, in the book, if you could narrow it down? And maybe there's many, but maybe what's one of them?
Alice Knows.
Alice Knows.
That's the first one that comes to mind. And the reason is it's really the very first poem that gave me the idea that I had something to share with people.
Okay.
And it's kind of a reference to Alice in Wonderland, which is one of my favorite stories when I was a kid. And the poem fell onto the paper without a whole lot of effort.
Fantastic.
It was an amazing write. The second one that comes to mind is a poem I wrote called Just Breathe.
Okay.
I wrote that one the morning my mother passed. And we had lost my father 6 months before that. So it was just kind of a double trauma. And I was looking at the world without both of them next to me.
Wow. And that is intense. And I've talked to so many people who experienced a lot of loss and difficult things in their life, even back to back, and they've turned them into these types of moments where they've processed what happened to them and put it back out to the world to help others process those same type experiences. And I think those are two very different poems, and I think it gives you some exciting insight into what this book is about. Alice Knows and then Just Breathe.
Right.
And I'm excited to get my hands on this book. That sounds wonderful. I was just talking this morning and last night with the lady that I was doing my book signing with today about how last night she went to a breathing class where they do meditative breathing. And I told her this morning, I said, that's one thing I need to learn how to do is breathe better. And yes. I think I'm such a horrible breather. So I think it's wonderful that you brought that poem up.
Thank you.
So, absolutely. Now, what inspires you as a writer and your writing style? Maybe who or what?
Everything. Honestly, I find something interesting in just about everything that happens, and I actually keep a note in my phone. I just open it and I'll jot down little things, little snippets, little bits that kind of come to me, and then eventually they'll work their way into a poem somewhere.
There you go. And you even said it right there, just naturally. You said little snippets.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
amazing. And I love to see the authenticity behind your process coming
Thank you.
out in the name and the title. So that's wonderful. I mean, I asked that question, but it's quite obvious that life in general, everything about life and day-to-day experience is your muse. So that is a wonderful, wonderful. What is something interesting about Miss Martha Maggie Miller? Something that most people wouldn't know. Maybe you won the Amazing Race, or whatever the case may be. Tell us something interesting about yourself, other than the fact that you've published your entire life experience in poems.
I was named after two of my great grandmothers. One of them was Martha Margaret, and the other one was Margaret Mary.
Oh, wow.
Yes, my mom was very big into names meaning something and being named after somebody important. So I got two of my great grandmothers.
And they were double M's, and you're triple M, and there's a lot of M&Ms there, and I love that.
Well, Mom gave me MM, and then I married a Miller.
Hey, you were destined. You were destined to be the M. That's beautiful, and it's great that you carry a name that pays tribute to not one but two of your great grandmothers.
And they were both great women.
And it shows. You represent them well.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Now, what is next as an author for Miss Martha? Are there any other literary projects underway?
As a matter of fact, I'm really excited to share that I was one of 75 poets who were selected to have their work showcased by 300 South Publishing Media Group. It's called The Shadow of the Soul, and it was actually released earlier this week.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations! Is that like an anthology?
It is. It's an anthology,
and that's called The Shadow of the Soul.
Yes.
Okay.
J Long. It's available on Amazon and under J Long. I found it under J Long. So
yeah, absolutely.
Super excited about that. I'm also working on my second book, which I'm going to title Pieces of Me. And I have it just about ready. I'm seriously considering submitting it to a poetry contest.
Okay.
Where I could potentially be professionally published. And I'm trying to gather all the bits and pieces to make sure it's ready for that by 31 December.
Oh, wow. I'm certain that you can do that. The congratulations on being chosen already for the Shadow of the Soul. That is a great achievement, and I'm glad to hear that you were chosen. And I'm certain that if you were to put work up into this other this contest, you're just a shoe-in.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm thinking that I might actually have a chance at doing something like that. So
absolutely. Well, and something else while you were talking that I noticed, your first book is called Snippets, and I know I've mentioned that a few times. I like to pick up on little cues and things and psychological things that make us tick, and your next book is called Pieces of Me. So I think it shows a growth pattern that your first book started with snippets, and now you've expanded to pieces.
Yes.
And so, I think that's really cool that you can see that in the psychology behind your titles, that you're growing from snippets to pieces of you. And that is a beautiful journey.
Thank you.
Absolutely. This has been phenomenal getting to know you and getting to hear a little bit about your book. We will plug that. Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic is not only available on Amazon.com, but also Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So there's two places that you can go and find Miss Miller's work, and no doubt become a huge fan of hers and anticipate the works to come. So stop by Amazon.com and or Barnes & Noble, grab a copy of Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic, and leave her a review if you do so. Absolutely.
That would be wonderful.
Oh, isn't it? I mean, let her know what you thought of her work. And it also, like I've said time and time again in other episodes, it allows that algorithm to keep the author up front and center so that that book is out there percolating in the algorithm. So it has been wonderful meeting you, and I hope to have you back when you do your next book.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you so very much. Bye, crazy babies. Guys, wasn't that wonderful? That was just a beautiful interview with Miss Martha Maggie Miller. Wasn't she just the sweetest, kindest soul? She had such a good, peaceful energy and vibe about her. I really thoroughly and genuinely enjoyed getting to know her, if I can speak correctly here. Be sure to go out and show her some love and support her endeavors. Grab her book, Heartfelt Snippets with Moments of Magic, by Martha Maggie Miller. And also on a side note, have you guys noticed how much I say absolutely, absolutely, absolutely on my shows? I think I'm gonna have to get a shirt that says absolutely, crazy babies. So we're gonna get a crazy baby shirt and a shirt that says absolutely, because I just love that. I guess it's my catchphrase. So until next time, on your next episode of Jam Sessions, have a wonderful night. Absolutely have a wonderful night. Crazy babies. I love you. Bye-bye.